biggest need that I see as we start to talk about know thyself is fear. And I don't mean this in a bad way. I mean that a lot of what we're going to be talking about are very critical conversations that need to be had, and sometimes it's easier not to have these conversations. A lot of times what we're going to be talking about is conflict, confrontation, asking questions that you might not want to know the answer to, really digging deep to understand where you stand as a company, and really embracing the fact that you need to understand those things. Lastly, what I see a lot in terms of purpose and passion alignment issues is vision alignment. I'll tell you one quick story that I've mentioned before, and I'll say it very quickly and very easily. Bill and Bob, two owners in the company. One owner wants to build towards a vision of selling in 3 years. The other owner wants to give the company to its kids. That level of conflict at the top in terms of what the vision is significant. So for those key stakeholders, whether it be board members, investors, or partners in the business, even executive leadership that might have a small piece of the company and is looking for some type of exit, you as the CEO, as the leader in this company, have to drive vision alignment. And what I'm asking you to do in the homework today is to figure out whether you have vision alignment or not. And that's where that fear factor comes in. A lot of times it's very difficult to have that conversation. And we'll talk a little bit more how to do that. But as the CEO, it is up to you to make sure that there's vision alignment. If there's not vision alignment, you can imagine the amount of conflict that happens in daily, tactical, everyday settings, inside meetings, making a decision on how much money to spend on a marketing ad, or making a decision on whether or not we need to put in the latest technology. All these seemingly straightforward decisions become harder and harder and harder if there isn't vision alignment. I'm a big fan of making sure that everybody is aligned, that needs to be aligned in terms of the vision. There are some key questions that that you really need to think through when it comes to alignment. And let's go through those very quickly. Are the leaders and key stakeholders in my company in alignment with the company vision and mission? As the CEO, as the founder, as the entrepreneur, this is on you to figure this part out. It's really, really important that you get a sense of this very quickly, and it's up to you to ask these questions, to face the fear and the conflict that you might get, to understand that you might not always hear what you want, but it's more important that you get some answers on this very, very quickly. Are there any disconnects? I can almost guarantee you that there will be. If so, what am I going to do about them? When you start to think about know thyself in the context of the Scale Passion method, know your market, know thyself, then create a vision and mission, then create your action plan. By understanding these disconnects, it gives you a real sense of what you're going to do about them. Some of the things you can't take action on right away. Some of the things need a 60-day probation. Some of the things means you got to go out and hire someone that might take you 3 months or 6 months to find the right person. By thinking through these disconnects and really prioritizing the disconnects, it gives you that data you need to make great decisions when it comes to the action plan that we're going to be building together in week 4. Where are the outages on my team, and what am I going to do about them? I can tell you that part of our 6-month plan, and part of the 6-month plan we're going to talk about building together, has a lot to do with the top grading of your people. Most leaders I've met would put in number 1 or number 2 keys to success, having the right people. Good to Great talks about having the right butts in the right seats. If you don't have the right butts in the right seats, it's highly unlikely that you're going to succeed and be able to support scale. I can tell you that right now. So understanding where the outages are on your team and what you're going to do about them is critical. And we would lay out a 6-month plan, sometimes even a year plan on unfortunately, the people that we need to move out of the business or into a new role, and the people we need to bring in. And then we would start the recruiting process proactively. We want to hire this kind of person. They're promotable or they're not. They're always going to be A players, and this is what an A player looks like. It drives a level of proactivity in terms of who you hire, when you hire them, and how you get it done. And it's a crucial question. And lastly, a key internal alignment question that's more tactical, but I wanted to throw it in just because it's in the context of the top grading. How am I going to support the A green? I've met a lot of entrepreneurs that don't feel comfortable with the concept of treating a particular employee special or a particular group of employees special. I can tell you that your A greens are your lifeblood of growth. They will drive the growth. One of the key things we're going to talk about in week 4 and 5 is the whole concept of delegating, driving all the decision making down into your organization. These A greens that you've identified all throughout your organization are the people you're going to delegate to. They're the ones that are going to be running the business day in and day out as you scale into a new life stage where you as the CEO are making less of the daily tactical decisions and you're starting to look more 6 months out or 12 months out more strategically. You've got to be able to hand off to these A greens. So one of the things I would challenge you on is to think through, how am I going to support the A green? How am I going to get them fired up? How am I going to let them know that I care about them? How am I going to pour into them, teach them how about the culture of the company, so that you're cultivating their commitment to the company, so that they can really take over and take things to another level.